Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to demystify one of the most daunting, headache-inducing tasks in modern software engineering. We're talking about the massive, and let's be honest, often terrifying challenge of moving from a legacy monolithic architecture to a sleek, modern microservices ecosystem. It's a journey that leaves a lot of development teams scratching their heads, but today we're going to break it all down and make it entirely accessible.
Here is our roadmap for today. We'll start with number 1, the microservices migration dilemma. Then we'll look at the Big Bang trap, explore the incremental approach, figure out picking your first microservice, and wrap up with the strangler fig pattern. Let's jump right in.
All right, Section 1, the microservices migration dilemma.
You know, getting things right on a whiteboard, that's the easy part. But actually, executing it is a whole different story. Put yourself in the shoes of a development team for a second. You have your classic 3-tiered e-commerce monolith, your presentation layer, your service layer, and your data access layer. It's served your business well for years. You've sat down with the business side, you've drawn up the boundaries, and you have all these shiny new microservices perfectly defined on paper. The blueprints are ready. But then, you look at that massive, tangled code base, and you're just left wondering, how on earth do we actually physically begin doing this without breaking literally everything?
Which brings us to Section 2, the Big Bang trap.
Human nature often tells us to just rip the Band-Aid off, right? That's the Big Bang approach. This is when a development team decides to completely halt all new feature development, stop all enhancements, and form one massive team to work exclusively on the migration. The pitch usually sounds great in a meeting. Hey, let's not take any new requirements, let's just knock out this migration, build all the microservices, and then we'll get back to building features. In theory, that sounds highly focused and productive. But in reality, it is a very, very bad idea.
What's truly staggering here is the sheer scale of the collateral damage the Big Bang causes. First off, you've grouped everyone back into one giant team, which is incredibly ironic because the whole point of microservices is to have small, focused teams to avoid communication issues. So now you have a massive communication gap all over again. Second, project estimates become absolutely impossible. You're migrating years of legacy code. Actually, for some companies, it's more like decades. So no tech lead can accurately predict that deadline. But the most severe casualty is the business itself. I mean, imagine a salesperson trying to pitch your product for 6 months with 0 new features. Imagine your existing customers logging in day after day and seeing no improvements. A stagnant application can literally kill your business. Your customers will just slowly move on. The Big Bang approach is for sure a complete flop.
And this right here perfectly illustrates the crucial shift in our mindset. We have to completely diffuse the destructive Big Bang approach and instead start building step by step by embracing the incremental approach.
Moving on to Section 3, the incremental approach. Okay, so if we're not stopping everything to migrate all at once, we have to do it piece by piece alongside our normal development. But that leaves us with a massive question. Out of the dozens and dozens of modules in your giant application, which service do you actually migrate first? I mean, is it the product service, the review service, the payment service? Where exactly is the right place to start?
Let's figure that out in Section 4, picking your first microservice. To find the absolute best starting point, we need a tactical playbook. Step 1, review your project timeline and your versions. Look back at your version history and ask yourself, why were these versions created? Where were the most changes actually contributed? Step 2 helps you answer that. Identify the modules with the highest code change frequency. You're almost certainly going to find 1 or 2 core culprits that are constantly getting updated and causing code conflicts. In an e-commerce app, this is very often the product service or the order service. And then step 3, target high traffic or highly scalable needs. If a specific module takes in massive amounts of user traffic and desperately needs to be scaled independently, well, that module demands your immediate attention.
This quote really hits the nail on the head. Migrating code that changes occasionally does not give us any benefit. Think about it. If you have a module sitting in your monolith that works perfectly fine and only requires an update once every few years, spending precious engineering resources to separate it into a microservice right away is a total waste of time. Instead, focus your incremental migration on the squeaky wheels, the modules that change constantly and cause the most friction. By doing this, your deadlines stay manageable. If an estimation for one single microservice is off by a couple of leaks, it's not a disaster. Everyone remains stress-free.
Now hold on a second. Before you touch a single line of code to split that first module, there is a massive, and I mean absolutely crucial prerequisite. You must have good unit tests and code coverage before separating a module. If you're migrating the add product functionality, you need robust unit tests verifying every single line of that existing code. If you don't have good code coverage, you cannot safely split the module without risking breaking existing functionality. You will find yourself in deep trouble post-migration without this safety net.
All right, our final section, number 5, the strangler fig pattern.
So once you've picked your service and checked your test coverage, it's time to introduce a really brilliant biological metaphor into our software engineering. In nature, a strangler fig is this vine that needs a support structure to grow. It spirals over a host plant, getting larger and larger, until eventually it completely takes over the support and the original host plant just dies away. This natural phenomenon maps perfectly to how we introduce a new architectural layer, what we like to call a strangler facade or a proxy gateway, into our architecture.
Let's look at how this plays out in phase 1. Before, a user's request would go straight to the monolith. But now, we introduce a proxy gateway, our strangler facade, right in the middle. In phase 1, this gateway doesn't do anything fancy. It simply routes the user's request straight through to the old, comfortable monolithic application. The user has absolutely no idea anything has changed under the hood.
Then we get to phase 2. Let's say your team just finished building the brand new product microservice. We'll call it version 2. Now the proxy gateway works its magic. It intelligently routes the user's request for products directly to the new microservice. But notice the safety net here. The old monolith remains. You do not delete the old product module just yet. It's fully transparent to the user, the new service is getting real-world testing, and you still have your fallback right there if something goes wrong.
And that builds right into the final stage, phase 3. You've separated the product service. Next, you do the exact same thing with the order service, then the payment service. Maybe you merge search and image search together into their own boundary. Module by module, vine by vine, the new microservices grow over the legacy system. The strangler facade handles all the routing until eventually the microservices occupy the entire architecture. Your original monolithic application is completely empty, it has entirely vanished, and it can finally be safely retired.
So I want to leave you with this final thought. Is your monolith ready to be overgrown? You see, escaping a legacy architecture doesn't require some dangerous big bang that halts your entire business. By identifying your most volatile modules, ensuring strict test coverage, and methodically applying the strangler fig pattern, you can completely transform your application right before your users' eyes.